Dimitri, if ToDoIst is your favorite task management app, then why don't you use it for task management? Dimitri, why don't you quit Notion for ToDoIst? It's so much better. I want to address all these concerns in this video. I apologize for mocking you, but I had to use it as an entertaining intro. Thank you. I know. Thank you. So I have been a big proponent of ToDoIst. I've made a course on it. I believe it is probably the best task management app on the market, but I am not someone who's going to quit Notion anytime soon for a task management app. Now, this may seem a little bit controversial as somebody who touts all these different task management apps as great solutions, but then only uses one app really. Here's the thing. I have been in the Notion ecosystem for so long that I will not quit my current setup for anything else for a while, because I am of the firm belief that my all-in-one workspace and having everything in Notion makes it all make more sense in my brain. And while there is a bit of manual labor associated with doing recurring tasks in Notion, it is not nearly enough of a problem for me to not use it. So going back into the all-in-one mindset, there is nothing more satisfying to me than having everything linked together in one application. Well, ToDoIst has really nice quick add functionality and can make things really easy. There are certain special things that you can do with automations that make those quick add features essentially doable in Notion. For example, if I wanted to have my setup in a certain way, I could make a Zapier automation. Or if you see this, if you create ToDoIst tasks from new items in Notion databases, or the other way around, like save new and complete ToDoIst tasks in Notion databases, I could set it up where even on my phone, I can do like, hey Siri, and then have it go to ToDoIst. And then I have done this before where it triggers and adds a new task in my Notion database. So there are options to use things like ToDoIst that are really nice in order to have recurring tasks happen or have quick add happen. Like, I know that my favorite thing about ToDoIst is there is a quick add feature. So if I go into the settings here, you'll see that I can add a quick task with Alt Q. And if I go Alt Q, it'll add a task. So if I were to set up an automation from Zapier within save new and complete ToDoIst tasks in Notion databases, anywhere on the screen, I could add a task without having to go back to Notion. If I wanted to set that up, I could, and I probably will based on me reminding myself of this right now. And it's really nice to have these sort of things as an automation nerd, as a tech geek. There are a bunch of different workarounds to fixing the problems that are in Notion. And the big thing for me is I've always been someone who likes tinkering with things, and Notion is the ultimate tinkering around application. I'm somebody who, back when I used to play games like World of Warcraft, I used to have a bunch of different user interface setups with different add-ons, and I find pleasure in tweaking those sort of things. So that all-in-one workspace option makes it really fun for me. And for those of you that don't know, the biggest indicator of productivity is if you enjoy it, you will do it more. Therefore, you will be more productive at doing that thing because you are consistently doing that thing in a timely manner, i.e. me always getting most of the things that are on my checklist done because I really enjoy checking off items in Notion for some reason. Now, from a friction standpoint, I could see why people would think something like this with my recurring tasks is a bit tedious, you know, pressing this and then waiting a second, pressing this, waiting a second, and then dragging these sort of things over to my calendar. It seems a little tedious, but the truth of the matter is I like the way that this is. I like the fact that I'm reminding myself of what I need to do on those days, and the recurring task annoyance that a lot of people have is not there for me anymore because I'm reminding myself of what I need to do every day. And for example, right now it's like, oh yeah, I gotta make sure that I track my finances, that sort of stuff going into the beginning of next month. Or even just the fact that I'm able to get a quick look at what I did do right and wrong in my workflow. Like, did I stay up to date with everything? Am I ahead on everything? It's just a nice tactile feel. And once again, if the level of friction is not high enough for you not to do the thing, it is okay for there to be some friction. In fact, this might be equal to, or maybe a bit more friction than automated recurring tasks, but the reminder of what I need to get done and having this system in place that I made for me is really nice. Like when I came up with the idea of having this system from Marie Poulin, but then also having specific things like this, which there's a synced block that I'll make in here, and then I'll take that and then move it into these like lightning bolt situations where they'll just duplicate this in the spot on the time of day. It's like, I made it, I enjoy it, the friction's low. And when the friction's low, you are productive. And that's why I'm not going to switch to something where the friction will be higher at the outset, and then it'll take me a while to get accustomed, and then it'll be a whole thing. Like, I get a lot done using this and I enjoy it. Now, the big elephant in the room is the fact that there is a lack of integrations, the fact that they think that something like this can be considered an integration at Notion, like, oh, paste as preview. Wow, can't load the preview. Like, how nice. Like, how, oh, now it can load. Oh, how nice. What an integration. I can see an image. Like, the same thing can be said about, like, if I just drag the file on it and it's an embed. I'm like, it's not an integration. Like, cool. You can see it through a link. Like, do you want a cookie? But what it lacks in integration feature sets, it makes up for in a lot of creative filtering. Like in this, I can go and I can filter to pretty much anything. I have multiple sorts. I have 2 different grouped rules or statuses unchecked. You know, time is today assigned to me, or this is based off of my Google Calendar sync integration that I use from Notion Automations. Link in the description. And it's like, I can't do that in something like Asana. Like, I use task management at work with Asana, and I can't do this in like my inbox view, like my daily actions section, my tasks section. I can't do this kind of filtering. This is just something that is next level for task management, and the filtering really does matter when it comes to prioritizing stuff between teams and whatnot. Essentially, once you put in the extra work that you've made it your own with, it is not extra work. So if I enjoy the customization that I made, I'm not going to switch to something where it's more cookie cutter, and I don't know. I feel like this is something I've made my own, and that's fun to me. And if I never forget to do a task with the setup I have, and I never have too much friction to not do a task because of the setup of the app, or I never have too much friction to not have a project figured out, then what am I missing? Like, I'm gonna just keep using it. If you want to use ClickUp because you enjoy it more, use it. If you want to write it on a pen and paper, use it. Just make sure that you critically think, is this the most optimal option for my enjoyment as well as my productivity? Maybe there's something I would enjoy a little bit more, but wouldn't be as optimal. It's something to think about when you're looking at this kind of stuff. And this video is also something to think about when you're trying to improve your productivity even more.